Anthony, you'd think I'd know the password to my email account, considering I have to sign into it once a month to pay my internet bill.
Oh, that sucks.
I
Here.
got it.
Nice.
Never mind.
Proud of
No
you.
complaints.
Proud of you.
Just let me submit payment here. I realized I needed to do that, and then I can get rid of that reminder. You should be paid.
Just paying bills
You know
on
what?
your podcast.
No balance is due. Yeah, fuck you. Balance is due. Shut up. And then I got to, in order to pay my bills, I need to charge my roommate.
Oh.
Request half the bill. Boom, bada, bing, bang, ding, dang. I don't fucking know. Anthony!
Yo.
Isn't it fun paying bills?
Hold on, actually. Kind of
The
worried that
economy
my
is in
audio...
shambles.
Oh, there you go. Okay, we're good. Are we good?
The
My
economy is
accuracy.
in shambles.
Yeah, dude. It ain't great. Not great at all.
How do 3 grown men in their 30s not have $80 between them? That's a Always Sunny in Philadelphia reference.
Fully.
Very
fully
timely. That's from like the first season.
Okay, that's probably why I don't know it. It's funny. So, hello.
The economy is in shambles. Hello, and welcome to episode 49 of the To Be a Title Later podcast. I'm Griffin. I'm joined by Anthony, and today we're having a very lackluster intro, but we'll be talking about our video games list at some point.
Yeah. Clap sync.
3, 2, 1.
Okay.
Minutes in, but whatever.
You'll figure it out. We'll do 2 claps.
That's what
Okay.
that's what the end sync is for.
Yeah.
I dyed my hair this weekend.
Oh, so this is the second time in the podcast history?
I mean, I've dyed it like multiple times over the course of us doing this podcast, but I probably haven't brought it up that many times.
I think you've only brought it up twice. Nice. Can you say what color
Okay.
or do you not want to?
Yeah. No, yeah, I can say this color. It's green.
Whoa.
I'm the Joker, baby. No, yeah, a couple of friends were like, you should do green. And I was like, fine. But I need to find a green dye. And one of them said a brand, and I got that. I think it's probably the last time I use anything that isn't my idiot-proof for brown hair dye.
Oh.
Because although this one's probably more permanent. Fuck, am I glad it was green and not red? My shower looked like a crime scene.
Oh, I'm sure. That sucks.
I went under the water to wash it out. I wiped off my eyes and just everything was green around me.
Oh,
It was crazy.
gross.
Yeah, no, I also need the idiot proof dye because I immediately like stained the skin all around my hair green. Luckily my hair goes over it because I have wavy hair that does that. But also my fingernails and toenails are green. I did use gloves to apply the dye. I didn't use gloves to remove the dye, although to wash it out. Apparently I should have, and also should have worn gloves on my feet or something. I don't know. I don't know if that would have helped. But green everywhere. I'm pretty sure the back of my neck is green, but nobody can see it because of my hair, so that's good.
Your pillow sheets are just stained green, I'm assuming.
No, my pillow sheets are fine because I washed my hair properly. It's just my entire body that's stained. My partner was over and was like, nice green tit, babe. I was like, thanks.
Thanks. That's what I was going for.
Thank you. Actually, yeah.
Do they have dyed hair?
Yeah.
I feel bad. Did they have dyed hair when I saw them?
Nope.
Okay, good. Whew.
I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
No, they redyed it. They redyed it recently, but I think it had been a while. I think they had just had some bleached hair at that point.
Oh, gotcha. Speaking of physical appearances, I've been rocking a new look in my home. I realize I'm gonna go full homeowner. I've just been rocking a robe.
Thong and a shirt.
Nah, dude. I just wear a little robe. I just walk around with my pajamas on and my robe. I don't drink coffee, but I got a little White Claw. I'm rocking this.
Okay, but consider a thong and a wife beater.
I don't
Or
own
an A shirt.
either of those.
Okay, well, you'd have to buy some.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to.
Ask Allison's opinion. She's sitting right next to you playing Sid Meier's, right?
No, she was like, well, you guys are recording. I'll go and read a book. But then she left her computer on, so it's just sitting there humming. She's going for a culture victory. She's fighting. I guess she's fighting some civilization that has a worse culture than hers, so she just keeps absorbing their civilization.
White supremacists be like, they have a worse culture than mine.
It's just so funny. It's literally she's just been playing and she's like, oh, I got another one of their cities. Oh, I got another one of their cities. And it's like, fuck, dude, leave them alone.
Stop taking them.
But she doesn't have guns and everyone else has guns. So I've been kind of I don't know.
She might be fucked at some point.
Yeah. I feel like the way that she plays Civ is that everything is fine until someone decides to go to war. And then she's just woefully unprepared. Is really how that goes.
Yeah, I get it. That's how Civ has always gone for me.
True. That's
but
very
also
true.
she plays it a lot more than I do. So I don't know. Maybe
Also,
she should
yeah.
be
Oh,
better.
yeah, I don't disagree. I think she does fine. No.
I wouldn't know. I haven't seen her play.
Hmm.
Should we get to the video game list?
Let's fucking do it.
All right. So, per last week, we each have come up with our personal top 10 games / series. If it is a series or part of a series, we will have to either defend why we chose the series rather than a singular game, or why we chose the singular game rather than the entire series. We have also, to make this a competition, tried to guess up to 5 of the other person's list.
Yep.
Worst comes to worst, we'll have a tiebreaker, as in I will flip a coin or something.
Sure. Gotcha.
So who do you want? I think how we'll do this is we'll have one person say their guesses and then the other person say their list, and then we'll flip that.
Okay. So
And do
I
the
think
opposite. So-
as we spoke last time, you were not a fan of ranking them 1 through 10. Is that true?
Yes, that's true.
Okay. So yours are not ranked.
Except for number 1, yes.
Fuck. I don't know what my number 1 would be.
I think bonus points if you can guess the number 1. I think that's what we'll do. You have to guess the 5, and then if you say one of them
Okay.
is number 1 for the other person, that'll be the tiebreaker.
Okay. Give me 1 second to just reorganize my list. My number 1 is at top. I don't. Yeah.
I don't think I'm going to get your number 1, actually. I think I got probably 5 of yours, but I don't think I have number 1.
I don't know, dude. I think you'd be surprised.
Actually,
I feel
3.
bad. I think that if you don't have a lot of mine, I don't think I would feel that bad because, well, we'll see. Because there's a few that I haven't spoken to you about. That might not be true
Okay.
exactly, but we'll see. We'll see. Okay.
Probably. I don't know. I feel like I definitely have stronger opinions on video games generally.
That is true. That is
I'm
true.
Very, very vocal about.
Do you have some honorable mentions?
No, but I could probably come up with some really fast.
Okay. I'm going to write down my honorable mentions just so I can remember. And I want to see if you would have had them as well.
I don't know if I have honorable mentions as much.
Okay. If they're just things I thought about and then I went, should I? And then I did not. So I don't know exactly what that means. Maybe they're like in my top 15. Who knows? Okay. Do you want to go first or should I guess yours first?
I think you can guess mine first.
Okay.
Let's go.
Okay. So the first one I thought of was Yakuza. I think it's 0. Was Yakuza on your list?
Specifically 0. I'm not telling you yet. We'll go through the list and see.
I made them. So here's where I made them all a game. And if they're not a game, but you chose the series, and I think that also counts.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
I said Resident Evil 2. I said
no. Okay. Sorry, I forgot. I wasn't giving answers.
Yep. I said Professor Layton Unwound Future.
Okay.
Dark Souls 1, and then Monster Hunter World.
Okay, cool. Let's go through my list. I'll save my number 1 for last.
Okay.
Just for interest.
Yep.
So first off, I said Monster Hunter Wild.
Oh, okay.
I think I actually enjoy Wilds a bit more. I think it's just more fun on the gameplay loop. I mean, don't get me wrong, that could change. I mean, I think pretty much at the end of the game, after like updates and stuff, that could change. I might be like, man, this is a good gameplay loop, but it just doesn't have any good stuff in it. But I don't think so.
I would have
so
put
I said Monster Hunter Wilds.
Okay, I would have put Wilds, but for a little bit, I was sneezing. I was like, well, there's something about like World being like, it has the update content, it has the DLC, and I was wondering if you would hedge away from the recency bias, so I tried to hedge the other direction. So, okay.
I did try to make sure I wasn't just getting hit with recency bias, but I think Monster Hunter Wilds minute to minute is actually more fun.
I agree.
So that's why I chose it.
Okay.
I did say Dark Souls 3.
Okay. I kind of knew you would choose Dark Souls 3.
Then why didn't you say it?
Because really in my heart of hearts, there was a chance you don't put Dark Souls 3 and you put Dark Souls 2 and it crushes me. So I just had to choose Dark Souls 1. So
no, it's actively Dark Souls 3. It's the one I've played the most, period. It's like the one where I got into Dark Souls.
Okay, gotcha.
So it holds a special place in my heart to me. I don't think I've told the story on the podcast, but when it first dropped, me and a friend in high school, like our senior year, I think because it dropped in 2016. We spent that weekend just playing it. We beat it in like under 24 hours. We just stayed up straight. Now I did had the Professor Layton series.
Okay.
Oh, wait, hold on. Let's go back. I gave you the reason I didn't choose Monster Hunter Wilds. The reason I didn't choose Dark Souls 3 is because
you did choose Dark Souls 3.
The reason why I did choose Dark Souls 3 and not like the series or the other ones or even Elden Ring is because, I mean, instead of Elden Ring, the reason why is just because the replayability is a little better on Dark Souls 3, so it's easier for me to like go back to that and redo it, whereas Elden Ring, I don't want to like redo it all as much.
Yep.
Don't get me wrong, I really like Elden Ring, and then Dark Souls 3, like I said, I got into it, and I feel like a lot of the design ethos, at least like level-wise, is fairly different between Dark Souls 3 and 1 and 2, and I think it feels very different to 1 and 2 in a lot of ways.
Gotcha.
Okay, now, Professor Layton, I had as a series.
Okay, I kind of figured you would, but...
Yeah, because I feel like those are very similar games. It's kind of like you tap around the world, you do puzzles.
Yep.
And they all have, I don't know, they all have like some thematic puzzles that continue throughout the series and stuff. So I think that's a fairly simple argument for a series. If I had to pick a favorite, I would actually pick Curious Village, just because it's the first one. So it's the first one I played. So again, special place in my heart.
Yep.
Okay, those are the only ones I have that you had.
Okay.
So that's 3 of them. I did not have any Yakuza game on here.
Okay.
And what was your last one that I didn't have?
I said Resident Evil.
I didn't have a Resident Evil game on there. I haven't actually ever played Resident Evil 2.
Oh, shit. Okay.
I've played 5 and 6, and 5 and 6 I love from a co-op perspective, but I don't think would ever make it onto this list. And 8 is actually, I'm going to say 8, Resident Evil 8 is an honorable mention, but I just didn't think of it. So I don't know, maybe it's just been too long since I've played it, and that's why I'm not thinking of it. Maybe that's the recency bias, the me being able to remember things. Okay, for my other games, I had the Final Fantasy VII Remake series.
Yep.
I'm surprised you didn't guess that one because I kind of fully explained it last episode.
You did.
Where I was like, a lot of it's a continuing storyline, and they're kind of they're almost the same gameplay wise, so I'd consider it like part of a series. That makes sense. You can't really play the second one without the first one, even though I'd consider the second one like a little bit better and more interesting in a lot of ways. But they're both like really, really fun games, and I think the character writing is actually really interesting in it. So a lot of it's like really fun. Like I will just play through it like again. Next is the Star Wars Jedi series, Fallen Order and Survivor, and whatever the third one's going to be when that comes out. Again, literally a continuation of everything. So I kind of want to include them both, even though I like Survivor a little bit more. And they unlock new abilities, but you don't like lose them between games. So that's just sick.
Okay.
So there's really, if it was like a Metroid game, like the classic Metroidvania, you lose all abilities at the beginning, I would find it, I would have a harder time, I think, putting these as a series, but because it's a straight continuation, I think that's more interesting.
I think Star Wars Force Unleashed was that way, where you like lost your abilities. I'm pretty sure.
Almost all games like this are that way.
Yeah.
Next, I had specifically Tears of the Kingdom.
Okay.
Because I don't think that one as strictly requires you to play the first game.
Yep, I agree.
And I think the creativity allowed in it is just far and away better than the first game, and better than like almost any game out there.
Okay.
So I just think it's a really good game, and I just enjoy it a lot. Yeah, it's a great game to just run around and fuck around. Next, I had Baldur's Gate 3.
Okay.
I haven't even played the first 2, so I don't feel that big of a need to argue for the entire series. Obviously, it's standalone. It's 5th edition, so it's way more player friendly than like, I don't know, fucking THACO. I don't even understand how THACO works. I just know about it. I've had it explained to me, and I hated it every moment of it. Baldur's Gate 3, again, one of the best games I've ever played.
Yeah.
And I also love it. And then one that's kind of wild, I have Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion.
Oh, okay.
I think it's like a perfect middle ground between okay, I don't necessarily agree with this 100%, and I'll explain why after I say it. I think it's a nice middle ground between the storytelling of Morrowind and the accessibility and playability of Skyrim. Asterisk, asterisk, asterisk.
Yep.
The writing's kind of unhinged, and I wouldn't call it like a masterclass of writing. It just has like more interesting side quests than Skyrim does, and a more interesting enemy variety that plays into that. And in the other direction, none of them have a good UI, but it's far more accessible than Morrowind's, and not too bad compared to Skyrim's, although not great. But like if I had to choose one of those without any mods or anything, I would just choose Oblivion. I think it's one of the more fun ones. A lot of the okay, I know Horse Armor DLC, but the other DLC, the like story DLC, is actually like pretty fun and interesting. I like that it has like more broken systems inside of it. Like enchanting goes crazy in that game. And yeah, I just like it. I like it better than Skyrim. I definitely like it better than Morrowind. I could never play Morrowind. I've tried so many times, I just can't.
Okay. Oblivion was okay. That's the only one that so far has surprised me. So
I thought that one might surprise you. I honestly thought you might guess Skyrim for me. And that's fair. I have sunk a lot of hours into Skyrim. I think I like Oblivion better.
Okay.
And my final one is the Nancy Drew series.
Okay, so here's where I fought pretty heavily with Allison. Okay, because of course I'm like telling her stuff. Also, did you say you're full? I'm at 9. I must have missed one. I've been typing them down.
Oh, sorry, I haven't said my top one yet.
Okay,
sorry.
So Nancy. So I was like, okay, Griffin's gonna either put a series or a specific one, and so I said instead of Professor Layton, I said Nancy Drew, and then Allison was like, I mean, maybe, but that might be too on the nose because we do a lot of Nancy. And I'm like, but you guys also did a lot of Professor Layton. So I went with Professor Layton, but my initial was Nancy Drew. And then I was talked potentially out of it as a potential for you. And I was like, I don't think that's true at all. So I think you and Allison have to fight because she was very pro Professor Layton, anti Nancy Drew. And I thought you would have both.
Unfortunately for both of you, I have both of them.
Yep. So what's your number
one? I picked a series again. I gotta defend Nancy Drew series pick.
Nancy Drew.
I gotta follow my own rules.
Yep.
I mean, they're just very, very similar games, gameplay wise.
Okay.
I don't know what to tell you. It's like you played one Nancy Drew, you kind of get the premise for all of them.
Yep.
Although there's some that are better, some that are worse. I'm trying to think what my favorite one is. I don't think I have one. Also because I definitely have to look at a list in order to pick one, and I just don't know. Whichever ones don't force me to talk to Ned, those are my favorite.
Gotcha.
And my number one, which is my number one, period, favorite game of all time is The Legend of Zelda Minish Cap.
Fuck is that?
That is a Game Boy Advance Zelda game produced by Capcom. It is the first game I ever played and got me into video games, and it is my favorite game. And it holds up fairly well. It is one of the like classic 2D Zeldas.
Yep.
I wouldn't say it's like as good of a game as like the Link Between Worlds or Link to the Past or whatever. Like that's like far more open world and allows way more options, whereas Minish Cap is like way more linear. But I like Minish Cap. It's my favorite game, period. I will play that anytime.
Okay. I think that that one definitely is one that I would not have guessed, but that is okay.
And for honorable mentions, I would just real fast, Indiana Jones, Pajama Sam, Resident Evil 8.
Okay. Have you not? So I thought Resident Evil was the 2 was the remake that you guys were. Am I fully wrong on that?
We haven't played any remakes because they don't have co-op. We were playing 6.
Oh, was it? Damn.
Yeah, we played 5 and 6 as co-op games, and then 8 I played on my own and really, really got into.
Okay.
I could probably come up with more honorable mentions if you let me, but then we'd be here all day.
Yeah, no. I think I'll take my 3 out of 5.
Okay. Now, my guesses for you.
Yep.
I did not put as many specifics.
Okay.
But I did kind of use what you said during the last episode to make some guesses.
Okay.
So for you, I said Civilization, unspecified. Although if I have to pick one, I think you'd say 5. Okay. Elden Ring. Then I said For the King 2.
Okay.
Then I said Monster Hunter World. And then I said Verdun, because you're a piece of shit and I hate you.
That's so fucking random. Dude, if I had put that, oh, God, you would have been so fucking pissed off. Oh, that's funny.
Dude, I would have been so right, though. Now that I know you haven't put that.
Very funny.
I'll admit, looking back at these, I'm feeling less confident. A lot of mine was based off the fact that I know you don't play a lot of single-player games.
Yeah.
Because who has the time?
Yep.
So I really went based off of what we've played.
Yep. So I really struggled with this, actually. So I think that you're going to be mad potentially at me because I think there are a few that I put that were more nostalgia than I think I would argue. Well, I don't know. We'll see. Okay.
I mean, that's fair. This is your list. Anything you say is valid.
So I think going through, so Civ 5, I did put Civ 5. Civ 5 specifically. So you got that.
Okay, well, I guessed that, so.
Yep. I had to put because I feel, here's where I felt a little torn by this one. I did put Overwatch. And I think that's because if they had never made a second one, I could say that more proudly. But because of the second one, it's a little cheapened. But I think that I just played too much of that game and I could do it while being very drunk.
We played so much Overwatch. I think I'm going to say Overwatch 1 is one of my honorable mentions. I honestly agree there.
It is a good...
I get it.
It's just a good balanced game, except for when they add a new hero and it's not balanced. I think the amount of times we would just scream because when they released Orisa, the fucking centaur, she was just invincible and we could not kill her. I just think that, like, even though that's broken, it was just so fucking funny. So
Orisa, my main, who they've ruined in the second one.
Did they really ruin her in the second one?
Yeah, she doesn't play anything at all the same. It sucks. She doesn't even have her shield anymore.
What the fuck?
They totally removed the identity of my favorite character. But yeah, no, I think that's reasonable to say Overwatch specifically 1.
Yes, specifically
I think that's so valid.
I said Skyrim. I think I played enough Skyrim on the PS3 to last me. Really, that might have been between Skyrim and another one on my list. They were really the only reason I had a PlayStation, PlayStation 3, if I think back to it. But I think just like the ability to mod it and it being like kind of shit from like graphics and it kept glitching, like I think was funny.
Yeah.
So I think Skyrim.
Yeah.
I think overall story-wise, pretty shit.
True.
But I think that I could play that game. I think it's just got good. I think it is pretty repeatable. I mean, I think I've played like 3 times, and I think I wouldn't want to play it again, only because I think I wore myself out. But I think it's a good thing.
I think I really considered putting Skyrim on my guesses, but I lost track of the fact that we were having a competition and more went for how can I call Anthony out? How can I just be like, I know you?
I think Skyrim is one where I'm curious when they release the next Elder Scrolls, because I don't know how well it now fits into the current game. Like, I think it's going to be almost boring. Like, I think Skyrim, if launched today, would be like not a AAA game. I think it would be.
No, it absolutely would.
Like, it just, and I don't even just mean like graphics. I just kind of mean like how it operates.
Quality.
Yeah, overall.
No, it's not good. No, it's not good. So many of the systems fucking suck ass. Magic has no impact. Melee weaponry literally has no impact when you're using it to fight. The dungeons are boring and fucking suck because they all have the same enemies. The quests aren't that interesting comparatively. I find it hard to even like remember a quest, whereas Oblivion, I remember multiple quest stories, which is why I put it.
True.
And just like, I don't know, it's the world is kind of bland because everything looks the same. It got passed through the Hollywood gray filter.
Yeah, I think that like I think adding mods helps a little bit with the color, but yes, you are not wrong. I don't disagree.
I don't think a single person plays vanilla Skyrim after like a year or 2 after Skyrim's release. I don't think a single person has ever even thought about playing vanilla Skyrim.
That is very true. I think I love the fact that I had multiple friends who wanted to mod the game so much it became unplayable. I just thought that was the best thing, is like people just wanted
I hit the mod limit.
It's just so fucking dumb.
255, by the way, literally just like a bit.
But I think even like, I had one friend who it wasn't the mod limit. It was like they tried to add so many different files, like they kept fucking up the actual like files of the game and it would just crash it. Like if you add too many of the same fucking types of mods, it just does not work well. Anyways, that's Skyrim. I put Baldur's Gate 3. I think that I've not replayed Baldur's Gate, but I do think that it is the best sort of D&D. I think after playing D&D, it's just a very 10 out of 10 game. So kind of what it is.
It provides so many options, and even though like everything funnels towards the same point kind of, it still feels like it has a good amount of variety.
Yeah.
And like what you're doing changes things.
And I'm like, I think I'm also just kind of excited for them to do the update, right? Like partly it's just kind of, they're still doing stuff.
Yeah, the next update with more classes. Yeah, they're doing so much with it. It's great.
Yeah, I'm excited. I did say Civ 5, right? So I think overall Civ 5, I just remember playing it in college and being like, I'm only going to play for a little bit. And then I would look up and my roommate would be like, dude, it's been 4.5 hours. I'd be like, fuck, okay, I got to go to bed. And so I think part of that was just the ability for my brain to turn off and me to just go through and play this Civ game. So overall, Civ 5. I will say I'm really disappointed that Civ 7 is like $70, I think, $75.
Yeah.
I'm a little disappointed that it's more money. Just generally, I think I get the whole argument that like games, inflation, whatever, and games haven't changed in price. So I guess. Yeah. Fine.
I mean, there's a whole complicated thing with like the video game economy specifically.
Yeah.
And like, I think there's going to be like okay, obviously we're going to go into a fucking recession, yada, yada, whatever. We don't need to get into politics in this one yet. I think there's going to be like a video game specific market crash.
Okay.
Because like all these massive games are not making enough money.
Yeah.
And also it's extremely hard for indie games out here as well, for indie developers.
Yeah, true.
Like Assassin's Creed Shadow just launched and it sold like a few million copies and stuff. Nowhere near goals or expectations.
I didn't even know they were making a new one.
Either has to shutter. Yeah, exactly. Ubisoft is either going to shutter or get bought out, it seems.
I mean, Ubisoft has sucked for a while, right? Like,
well, see, that's part of the reason.
I just think that you can't keep making shitty games. Like, I just don't know what you want from them. You know what I mean?
Well, that's the thing. People like Assassin's Creed Shadows.
Really?
Yeah, they say it's pretty good.
I think what was the last few Ubisoft game? Not Ubisoft, but like Assassin's Creed Valhalla. I mean, part of it is just the Assassin's Creed Valhalla. Is that the last one they made?
Yeah, before Shadows. Yeah.
That was 5 years ago?
Yeah.
Oh wow. Damn.
Yeah, it was a while ago.
Well,
but like even not Ubisoft, like Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, the game that I just played and is really, really good, like didn't sell anywhere near what they wanted. Which is like an insane amount, which to be fair, because of how much they spend, like it's almost impossible to reach the amount you would want to make a profit. And don't get me wrong, a lot of it has to do with systems of capitalism, yada yada. But that's why I specifically point out that not only are like things not making the kind of money that companies need to continue to make games, but also it's really hard out here for indie games because they also don't seem to make that much money out of it.
Yeah.
In order to be able to like survive.
Yeah. I think my hot take though is going to be, I think that a franchise, like a game franchise, can only last like 4 games. Truthfully, like I don't know. Monster Hunter right now, or not Monster Hunter, Assassin's Creed is what? Like this is probably the 10th Assassin's Creed game. Like I just don't know if that's, I don't know.
15th, but yeah.
Holy shit.
There's a lot, dude.
Yeah, I just think that that's too much.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I don't disagree.
14th, yeah, damn 14th. Okay, back to my list. This one was kind of an interesting one, but I like was thinking through it, and I think it's true. I put Minecraft. I think overall
that is more than fair, honestly.
I think overall it is, between mods and the multiplayer. Like I just think it's an overall good game. I think it hasn't been spoken about in the last, I don't know, 5 years. I think that's okay. I think it's a pretty good game. I
don't think that one surprises me that much. I think if I wasn't trying to make a call out post with my guesses, I probably would have put Minecraft.
Here's my random one that I think you're gonna be mad about. But I put Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 for the original from when I was in middle school, only because the game
that doesn't surprise me.
Was generically generic, but it was like the first Call of Duty I played, and I just remember playing it a lot on my PlayStation with my friends. And then the PSN network got hacked. The PS network, PSN, PlayStation network,
yeah,
whatever the network's called, got hacked. We couldn't play for like a week. But But yeah, I just remember like playing it and my friends being like, let me get my brother so we can beat you at this game because he's better than I am. I just remember that. It was just like nostalgia. So
yeah, no, that's fair. That's
but also
exactly what
I would
this
never
list should be.
I don't think I would buy a Call of Duty game right now. I just don't think that's gonna happen.
How about that one Call of Duty, the Call of Duty Modern Warfare, the newer one that kept updating with like 60 gigabytes every single time you launched it?
That was fucking dumb. I hated that. Made me so mad. I hated.
Literally everybody hated that.
Fuck, I was so mad. Yeah, when I kept having him do 80 gig updates, which didn't make any sense, just like mathematically. Yeah. Ugh. Okay. I did put Dark Souls 3.
Okay. Yeah.
I was thinking through and I spoilers, didn't put Elden Ring, but I did put Dark Souls 3. I was, if I think through, we haven't really replayed Elden Ring. But I think I think Dark Souls games have an easier repeatability to them.
They do, for sure.
Like just because they're not open
world like that. Yeah.
So Dark Souls 3, I was gonna do Dark Souls 1 remastered, but then realized I don't know if that is really my favorite. I think Dark Souls 3, like the lore of it, I think it's just the best lore of a Dark Souls game. So overall, or of a Souls game. I then put Super Smash Bros. Brawl.
Okay.
I played a lot of Brawl as a young child, and I was never the greatest, but I was never the worst out of my friend group.
And that's where you want to be.
And so that put me in a safe, like I wasn't like too much of a try hard, but I wasn't a shitty player. I think that was a good spot for me to be in. So yeah, overall, I think there are better Smash Bros. I think Smash Bros. Ultimate which I think is the newest one, relatively newest one, is better. I think if you were to like think about it in terms of graphics and gameplay, but there's something about Brawl that I like.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was taking a sip. And then my last one, I put Final Fantasy 14. I didn't really put like a lot of multiplayer ones on here, but I think that overall Final Fantasy, it's got something.
What the fuck do you mean you didn't put a lot of multiplayer ones on here? Do you mean MMOs or do you mean multiplayer?
Oh yeah, I mean like MMOs. I think I wanted to put.
You just listed Civ, Call of Duty, Smash Bros.
That's true. Sorry, I didn't list any MMOs.
Okay, yeah.
And I was trying to think one, but yeah, I think overall Final Fantasy, it's just a pretty solid game. So
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I thought about Final Fantasy 14 on mine, but I just decided against it because I don't think I would ever be able to like get into it if it wasn't during the pandemic for me.
Yeah, I think it's definitely number 10 on my list. Like, I think that's a solid 10 for sure. For my number 1, I couldn't decide, but I'm going to do a mixture where I'm really going to choose 2 games and I'm going to call them the franchise because I don't really want to try and decide. So my number 1 was either Pokemon Crystal or Pokemon X and Y. Okay. And here's my rationale. 1, Pokemon Crystal, first Pokemon game.
For sure.
And so I think it just overall, it opened up the door. But also I think I remember it was like you could do egg. There was like Pokemon breeding then, and Dark was a type that was just added.
Yeah.
And I think overall, and I think it was the first game in color, I think is how that went.
Kinda, yeah.
So overall, I think Pokemon Crystal is like my childhood memory. I then said X and Y because it was the first and only gimmick I actually like of a Pokemon game with the Mega Evolutions.
For sure.
I am not a fan of the freaking wrist bracelet dances. I'm not even really a fan of the Gigantamax stuff. I don't think I like those as much. But I think overall it was pretty good. I think Pokemon X and Y was probably like the last iteration where I went, this is something fresh and new. And then after that, I think I wasn't a fan of all the stuff they were doing.
Yeah.
The moves, all those are bad. I'm not a fan.
Fair. Yeah, I will say for me, X and Y hold a really soft spot in my heart as well. Because they came out when I was in like high school again, just like at a perfect time for me to play Pokemon.
Yeah. I think Pokemon X and Y is when I got really big into like competitive Pokemon. Like my
fair.
friends and like people in high school were like, oh, here's like our team. And I just remember being like, oh, I can invest a lot of time into this and actually like just win. And also like there was something like a little bit more competitive about the whole like megas. Like, is it going to be a mega Pokemon? Is it not? I thought that was good. So
yeah, no, Megas is a really fun one, I think. I'm glad it's coming back for Pokemon ZA.
I am as well. Although I'm still worried if I'm going to get it. I struggle with that, the form of Pokemon game that is. I think it's just different than what I'm used to.
Yeah, that's fair. I'm actually really interested in this one because it also isn't exactly turn-based.
Okay.
It's you're just like running around in the battle and you're choosing like when to use a move. So there might be like actual physical dodging now and stuff. I'm just really fascinated to see how it actually ends up working out, or if it just ends up being like, well, end result is it's still turn-based kind of.
Yeah. Yeah, I haven't looked too much into it, so there's that. But yeah, I think overall I'm curious to see how it'll go. Do you think you're gonna get it when it comes out, or do you think you're gonna wait a little bit?
I don't know. It depends on if I'm doing other things at the moment, because I don't think we know when it's gonna come out yet. I think it's just like the summer.
Oh.
But I really enjoyed Legends Arceus, so I could honestly sink my teeth into something that's not a mainline Pokemon game, but is actually like still interesting.
Yeah, I'll do some research because I really haven't looked into this. Yeah, just as late 2025. So
yeah. Oh, late. Never mind. Winter time. Which might be the perfect time, actually.
Well, with this,
okay.
I think should I say some of my honorable mentions?
Yes, please.
Because I feel bad because you really. So I had For the King. I had For the King 1. For the King 2. I'm a little disappointed that I'm not a fan of the like mini submissions. Like I would think I want to play the entire thing through. Like I struggle with that a little bit.
I actually thought you might say that. I just hedged my bets into For the King 2 because I thought that you'd like that it's like one more person.
I do like
and
that.
I actually thought that you'd be like, I'm actually kind of into like the different missions so it doesn't feel as drawn out.
I definitely felt like For the King 1 was like a trek. Like it was definitely like, you're just like slugging it out. I 100% don't disagree. That would be hard. I could go either way. I did put Monster Hunter. I did specifically put Monster Hunter World in my bottom tier list just because I'm not done with Wilds yet, and I didn't feel like it was. I didn't think I should put it on the list yet.
Fair.
I did put Mario Kart Double Dash.
Really? Okay.
I don't know, something about fucking Mario Kart Double Dash. Just I fucking love. I think we've spoken about this in the past. I really like 007 Nightfire from the GameCube.
Oh my god, we have. Yeah.
I just really like the
game.
So
funny.
It's so fucking dumb and it's poor. I'm sure that if I played it now, it would just be utterly dog shit. Yeah. And then I put Pokemon Soul Silver because it's like a remake of an early game.
Fair,
and then I put Elden Ring because again, I think Elden Ring is definitely a very good game. Like, but I think
almost all my guesses were your honorable mentions.
It was hard. Like they were for a little bit in my top 10, and then I kind of started to weed them down a little bit. So, but I think by the time we're done with Wilds, I think Wilds will definitely be in the top 10, 100%.
Yeah, I think it's yet to be seen if it remains in the top 10, if depending on how the update content is.
True.
But they've typically been pretty good on their update stuff.
Yeah.
So
true.
So yeah. But damn, so you got
I got 3, dude.
3 correct, but unspecific.
Yep.
And I got 1 exactly on with Civ 5. So that gets me 4 points, and therefore I win.
Yeah. Oh shit, my recording ended. Damn. We'll never know.
But no, yeah, you got me better. I got your honorable mentions to a
really
T
did.
pretty much. But yeah, you did better on my list. I guess you know me better and you win this friendship. Damn.
Oh, bam. I won it. Take that, everyone else.
I really did consider like Minecraft and Skyrim for mine, but I was like, no. But then you know what? In my head, I was like, Anthony's going to pick these games. He's going to fall prey to recency bias.
Yeah, I really struggle with that. Like for a little bit, I was just like looking at like what was on my desktop. Like for a little bit, I put Golf with Your Friends or not Gang Beasts, Golf Gang. And I was like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I, for a little bit, was going to put Pico Park. And I thought that would have been silly.
That would have been silly. But I really, really just wanted to read you for filth by putting Verdun. But
Dude,
apparently I'm not going to.
Verdun on there? God, that'd have been bad.
I thought you were going to be a little fucking nerd and be like, yeah, it was fun to like just play it and start streaming it and get yelled at every single time.
I mean, it was fun, but I don't think it was fun enough.
No, absolutely not. I just wanted you to be insane and put it.
How far down your list do you think web fishing would be?
I think I could put web fishing in my honorable mentions. I don't think it would be top 10, but...
Yeah, maybe it's top 25.
Yeah, I think I'd put it up there. I still want to play more of that with everybody. I just forget.
Do you think that...
I forget because there's so much going on.
I know. Do you think that you would have Satisfactory in your top 25?
Oh, probably.
Okay.
I spent a lot of time on Satisfactory, and that's also a game that I would definitely go back to. I just have no fucking time.
I know, right? That's like one of those games where like you either do have time or you don't. Like you definitely can't half-ass that one.
Yeah. Actually, I thought of another honorable mention, and that is the Spider-Man game on the PS4.
Oh, okay. That
and or Miles Morales as well.
Yeah. Yeah, I was trying to think.
I actually started playing the second one a little bit, but it's too early to say if it's good. But I like the upgrades from the first game, so it seems just more of the same, which is fine.
Yeah, I'm looking to see if there's anything else that I would even. Oh, I was gonna put Yeehaw somewhere. I was gonna put Red Dead.
Oh my god, we played so much Red Dead,
but we only played the multiplayer. So that's.
Oh yeah, I'm still like 5% into the story. I don't think I ever played more, and I don't really care to.
Yeah.
But the multiplayer that they abandoned immediately.
I know.
But it was so much fun all together to just be freaks.
Yeah, I think that's why I couldn't. I think that again, if I had to pick between like Cyberpunk, Red Dead, and Anthem, I think that I would have wished that they kept.
I think I would have picked
Red
Anthem.
Dead. No, I just mean like in terms of I don't know why. I think between they all just kind of
what do you mean?
Like from a
they all
support
kind of
system.
sucked in a way. Oh yeah.
Like if
I
they
think I
had
had
just
the most
supported.
fun with Anthem because I think because Red Dead is a game of like friction. It's a game where like the interesting parts are the friction that they put in your way of like having more realism.
Yeah.
I think Anthem's like flying system was just so much goddamn fun.
I don't disagree.
And like their combo system was interesting. So I think that was like my favorite multiplayer that was immediately defunct.
Yes. Yeah. It was really awkward playing a game at launch that then just immediately died. It was so strange. Like I've never been playing a game and gone, wait, did they?
It's over?
It's done? Did they just stop updating this game? And then the answer was yes. And then it just died. I think Red Dead had enough length, but then like the hackers got into the servers. Like that was really the problem.
True, yeah.
And then, Cyberpunk, I think I have just on a principle stopped playing. I think I could go back and have fun. Oh.
Cyberpunk is a game that's had a lot of updates and like works as a game now.
Yeah.
And I will say, it was like I had a guess beforehand that Cyberpunk would be like, well, not beforehand, but like after launch for a while, that Cyberpunk might be the next like Skyrim, where it just gets a ton of mods and people really like it. And it has gotten a ton of mods and some specific people really like it, but it never, it doesn't have the same like tail that I think Skyrim does. But like even at launch, it just felt like a Skyrim style game where it's a multiplayer with like passable dialogue and stuff.
Yeah.
And it was like slightly better than Skyrim on that account, obviously, because it was newer. It just wasn't the game to end all games like everybody was talking about.
Do you think that Cyberpunk I think that Cyberpunk is the Skyrim of our, I think that that's right. I think Cyberpunk is the Skyrim of our time, but because it's now newer, it doesn't hold up as well.
Yeah.
And they just spent way too much money on marketing. I think that they needed to really tone it down. And I think that would have been a completely fine game.
Yeah. It just doesn't have the pull through to have like a Witcher 3 moment where everybody's like, oh, this game is really good, even though it had a really rough launch.
Yeah, I agree.
But it almost did with the DLC. People really liked the DLC.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, Phantom Liberty. People thought it was really good. I didn't play it, so I don't know. And I don't think I, again, have the time to go back to Cyberpunk, especially considering, like, I beat it at launch, so.
Yeah, I did not. I mean, I think the hard part for me is that they wanted you to pay for the DLC, and I truly don't believe that game should have taken any more of my money.
That's fair.
I just don't.
That's totally fair.
I really think that was a game that should have, like, hey, we're sorry, we're gonna keep going. Here is the DLC for free.
Yeah, which makes no sense financially.
Oh,
obviously.
no, it would not have. I guess I just wanted blood. Is really like I just wanted them to suffer.
Yeah.
Maybe one day I go back and I play it.
Maybe when you have a little bit of time.
Yeah, I think that I wish that we had recorded what we thought Cyberpunk would be before it was released. I think that you and I had designed the best sci-fi game, and it just did not appear. It just didn't happen.
I think the only thing I wanted was the ability to replace my penis with a robo penis.
That's kind of all that. Yeah.
And that has never and will never be a thing outside of like texture replacement with a mod.
Yeah. I just think that
I wanted to go into a shop and be like, give me the silver dick.
Yeah. I think where I really struggle is that is a world in which you should be able to replace your entire being and then struggle with whatever they called it, where like you had too many mods.
Oh, cyberpsychosis?
Yeah, like that was a game where that could have been a really cool, like you need to balance like your psychosis with your mods, and they just didn't do it.
That was one of the wildest failings of that game because like pretty close to release, they had a video that was like, in this city, it's all about style, and showed off like a bunch of people with varying levels, and then like the amount of like roboticization you could do to yourself was like extremely limited.
Yeah, I think that's just where I struggle with it, because that was like the lore of the world, right? Like that's like it would be like they were releasing a Star Wars game where you had like real metal bullets. You know, you'd be like, "What? I want the pew pews. Like, what is this?" Like, I feel like that just like went away from what it was trying to be.
I hear Star Wars Outlaws is pretty good. Sorry, you've got me thinking about Star Wars games.
I haven't really looked anything into it.
It's another Ubisoft game, but I actually am interested in specifically one of the systems that you don't unlock. That is, you have like a skill tree, but you don't unlock skills through like leveling up in skill points. You unlock skills by doing tasks related to the skill.
Oh, okay.
Which I think is a really good way to like do that. That's like way more interesting than just level up and now you have this new thing that you have to remember that you can do.
That is interesting.
But again, Ubisoft open world game. I don't know if I have the time. Jesus Christ. I think once my video game schedule opens up, I'll feel more good about it. The only reason I started playing Spider-Man 2 is because it's far more limited in scope.
Yeah, I mean, this game is still like full. I guess it was released not that long ago.
Yeah, another game that made like no money compared to what it needed to.
Which I think is just hard. Like, again, I don't know. I think we just are slightly oversaturated with games.
Oh, absolutely. That's part of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When I was scrolling through Steam.
I will say, for a far more in-depth look at the video game world, specifically regarding economics of games, don't listen to a couple of dipshits on this podcast. Listen to an actual video games journalist. I recommend Jason Schreier's work.
Oh, of course.
Of course. He does a lot of reporting on it. He also has a podcast called Triple Click that I listen to, and a lot of what I know I get from there. They had a whole episode recently about specifically like the economics of the video game world, like after a big like developer conference.
I'll have to watch that. That's cool.
So yeah, I don't know, it's crazy out there.
Really, anything he says is true. You need to believe it.
Yep, I'm actually fine with that stance. He's extremely pro-union. So
yeah, I think he's an overall good reporter as well.
Oh yeah, no, the stuff he writes is really well researched. His books as well. I like them a lot.
With that, should we close it up so Allison can keep playing your goddamn Civ game?
Yeah, I think we are good. I'm just marking video game list off my topics. Let's go. All right. Thanks for listening to this episode of We Talk About Video Games for a Long Time. You can email us at tbtlpod@gmail.com, and our Instagram is at tbtlpod. Tell us some of your favorite video games, things that we haven't mentioned, because everybody's got a favorite. Fuck it. Let us know.
But
I'm
like,
Griffin.
Email it to us, because I think I'd like an email. So if you could email that to us, it'd be nice.
Well, actually, as we end, let me check to see if we have any more emails, because I doubt it. Nope.
No, please email us. I look at it constantly.
Yeah, I look at it a lot. Not really. Where's my fucking... And what else do I have to say? I'm Griffin. This is Anthony. Tell your friends about us.
Word of mouth.
We really need word of mouth.
Also, if
Hi, Ukraine.
if you're living in Ukraine, thank you. You and I had the same mind meld. If you live in Ukraine, like
all we ever do when we talk about our listeners is talk about our Ukraine listeners because it's still wild to us.
Yeah, I'm cool with it though. I'm good with that. So, yeah, thank you. Also, we should clap sync because you'll never find the other.
You're right. Thanks for listening. Goodbye.
Bye.
All right, clap sync in 3, 2, 1.